We do have one more presentation that will be brought by our finance director and also the Atlanta Braves, providing their annual update on Truist Park and the Battery.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners, County Manager. As a part of our 2023 Truist Park and Battery update, we're going to be discussing some of the highlights from the previous year, some upcoming things for 2024, and the financial impacts. So we're going to kind of kick this off, and I'm going to turn it over to Mike Plant with the Braves organization to just start with the highlights.
Thank you, Bill. Good morning.
Good morning.
So hard to believe that this is our 8th season at Truist Park.
Yes, congrats.
Time has certainly flown by, but we have enjoyed every minute of it, obviously. We had a record-setting year last year, ended a little bit quicker than we wanted it to, but our team played incredibly well, won over 100 games for the second year in a row, set all sorts of historic records on the field. And Bill and I are here to talk about today some of the incredible performance off the field. We've kicked off this homestand with 3 sellouts. We've certainly proven again that don't ever leave our games early because they don't end until they're over. Friday night and Saturday night walk-off wins. And then the culmination of the homestand was yesterday, celebrating excuse me, the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron's historic 715 home run. And I saw a number of you at the lunch and appreciate you being there. Hope you enjoyed yourself. So the legend and legacy of Hank will live with our organization certainly forever. So just a couple slides on performance. I won't read obviously all of this, but last year 10.3 million people came to Truist Park in the Battery. That makes us the #1 lifestyle center in the state, #8 in the country, and we keep driving more and more people there. I think what's really important to point out is that of that 10.3 million, there's been a lot of assumptions through the years of that we're just churning fiscal impact and churning money in Cobb throughout Cobb citizens. 8 million of those came from outside of Cobb, and 2.9 million came from outside the state of Georgia. We know that because, like on the field, we use tons of analytics for performance and winning games. We have tons of analytics that we use for off the field as well, so we know exactly where people come from as far as going to games and coming to the Battery. We hosted 367 events in addition to our games, so constantly activating, driving people there. And as you can see, we opened a number of new concepts again, and then this year we have over 300,000 square feet of new concepts under construction. By the end of this year, we'll be 99% fully occupied, fully leased. So there is no more space at the Battery, but that's obviously a good thing. So coming this year, we just look at a couple things. Obviously, you've probably seen the 9-story Truist Securities headquarters. We will turn that building over to Truist in sometime around September. They'll spend about 8 months or so with all their interior build-out. Starting next summer before the 2025 All-Star Game, they'll have up to 1,000 new employees coming to work in that headquarters space. Gas South is moving into the Battery, into the TKE Papa John's headquarters building, and then we expect to exceed last year's 3.2 million record attendance. We sold out 57 games last year. We think we'll sell out over 60 games this year. So hopefully, again, another historic year. And then the Henry Towers are, again, paying homage and respect to Hank Aaron. Tower 1, Tower 2 going up across the street in our partnership with Goldenrod, and a new pedestrian bridge that will go right into the plaza, and that should be done by the All-Star Game in 2025. And then, we're very proud of what we do in the community. We know it's our responsibility to continue to give back and support the community that supports us on a daily basis, not just on the field, but certainly off the field. We've provided support for 27 nonprofits in Cobb County last year. We're proud of what we do for veterans. The Warrior Alliance headquarters is continuing to support veterans and their families at the Battery. We support the incredible work that the public safety, fire, and 911 and Stu and the police department, top notch, always there to help us and make sure people are safe and they're secure. And so our relationship and partnership with public safety is certainly one that makes the Battery special. So we love giving back to those organizations. Cobb Schools are another good example of the things that we do in the community. And one of the last things I would say is I'll point out our players last year provided excuse me, over $1 million to the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And that money is used to support, obviously, a lot of different programs throughout Metro Atlanta. Look at what Sean and Carly Murphy did, for example. They paid off student lunch debt for 2,300 students in Cobb County, and that will continue to happen. I give a lot of credit to our general manager, Alex. He makes it a pretty strong mandate that when a player signs with the Atlanta Braves, that you're going to give back to the community like we do. So I appreciate all the support from this organization and from the board, and more good things to come. And hopefully we'll be planning a parade with you in October and November again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Right. So Commissioners, I'm going to jump into the financials, and I know we'll all remember this slide. So this is always very important as we walk through this, is how this investment took place. The county's portion was capped at $300 million as we began this project. And then this was part of the original projections in 2015 of how we were going to cover this. And the big thing that I cannot stress enough as we walk down these slides, these revenue sources have remained consistent, and the county has stayed true to how we're going to fund this program, this investment. And one of the big keys that we always focus on is the county's general fund tax impact. At the beginning of this investment, for 30 years, the county committed to funding this investment with $6.4 million annually out of the general fund. We have yet to do that. In fact, as a part of the county's leadership through the Board of Commissioners, we have made it our goal to work with the Braves organization and work through these revenue sources to limit that and continue to reduce it over a period of time. So I just want to share with that is, if you kind of look through those numbers, even during the pandemic, that got to $5 million, still below the $6.4 million projection. And I'm happy to report in 2023, the general fund investment was $1.7 million. The big part of that is at the very bottom of this slide. Between the Braves and the Battery, this development contributed almost $2.6 million of that general fund property tax. So far more than exceeded the amount of general fund property taxes that are contributed to this. So we can say, without a doubt, no general fund homeowner paid into the debt service for this investment in 2023. 2022 was the first year that we covered the debt service. And I'm happy to report in 2023, not only did we recover the debt service, but we also covered the cost of the circulator. And as we move into 2024, one of the areas that you'll see change is how we utilize our $3 room night fee. That will be a change in 2024. That number you'll see in 2023 was just about $2.3 million. That will increase to $3.6 million. So again, further enhancing this project and limiting any general fund resources that go towards this project. Okay, so this is a very similar, just a graphical way to represent this. And we show this in three different ways. Again, the $6.4 million that was originally projected for the full 30-year life of the bonds that were issued. The middle line there is the general fund dollars that have actually gone to fund that debt service. And the green line at the very bottom is that net of any property taxes used or any property taxes collected from the development itself. So again, this is coming out to the good of over $800,000 in 2023. Okay. And this is accomplished a variety of ways, but I do want to talk about the impact that this has had. And the best way that I think I can show this is showing the property values from the Battery and the Braves development. So again, not the halo effect. This is simply the Braves development. Prior to this development, this was valued at just over $5 million. And at the end of 2023, it was $767 million. And we want to break that down a little bit. Even as this continues to be built out, we added $26 million of value between 2022 and 2023. Property taxes paid by the Battery and the Braves since 2015 equate to $22.6 million, and that is just to the county. And then we also break it down for the Board of Education for that same time period is $30.9 million. And then also our partners at the Cumberland CID received $8.2 million for a total of $61.7 million paid in property taxes since 2015. Okay. And these are our revenue sources. So we shared with you how we use to fund the debt service, but these are the actual collections that have been generated, and these don't match up because there is a lag. And it's also, we use some of these in previous years for other purposes, like the $3 room night. So you can see in 2023, the $3 room night fee at the very top collected just over $3.7 million. We only used $1.7 million of that to fund the debt service. So again, when we see how we change that in 2024, that will be allocated towards the Braves debt service, and that'll continue to reduce the general fund impact. And also to share with you kind of what some of those, how the pandemic impacted some of those. If you look at the very bottom, you see the hotel motel tax. Obviously during the pandemic, you saw it in 2019 at $3 million, that fell to $400,000. So during that time period, we did not have to use any other sources other than these to cover the debt service. So during the worst times, this still generated a positive outcome for the county. And again, these few revenue sources over this period of time totaled $69.3 million. Okay. Now, we talked about the revenue sources that are used to fund this project and fund the debt service. However, these are revenue sources on this slide that are not used to fund the project, but that further enhance projects within Cobb County Board of Education, as well as the state. So we talk about sales tax dollars. Again, our sales taxes for SPLOST, those are for voter-approved projects, but that kind of gives you an idea of how this program and this investment has further allowed counties to fund SPLOST projects as we move forward. Liquor by the drink and occupational tax, as well as the hotel motel tax for the 2 hotels within the Battery themselves. So I'm not going to go through these line by line, but I do want to touch on the very bottom number there. For a 5-year total for Cobb County, for these revenue sources totaled $25.5, almost $25.6 million. If you take that and you add in the property taxes that are collected by the county for that 5-year period, that total moves to $43.7 million over a 5-year period. The Board of Education, at the very, very bottom, you'll see for the sales tax component, totaled $15 million. When you add in the property taxes they received, you're looking at $24.6 million. If you add those together over that 5-year period, that's $83.5 million between Cobb County government and Cobb County Board of Education in a 5-year period. Okay. And then we do want to show this just kind of breaking down a little bit differently so you can see the individual revenue sources. So again, when we look at the property tax components, all the other revenue sources that feed into it. So we wanted to give you a detailed breakdown of what that looks like for both the county, the Board of Education, and the CID, as well as the state. The total for 2023, prior to the annual rental payment that the Braves pay each year, totaled $40.3 million. So this continues to improve as we've gone through these years, and the county has done a great job as far as reducing the general fund impact. We are to the point where, again, we have covered debt service, we have covered circulator, and we have actually exceeded the cost of both of those. So next year we hope to report that we have finalized some additional dollars that have come in based on the way we're changing how we fund the $3 room night fee, and hopefully have even better news to report next year. So Commissioners, Chairwoman, do you have any questions for me or Mike that we can answer for you today?
A lot of helpful data, and it's good to see the numbers trending as they are, and for us to actualize what was projected initially, that we would see a return from this investment. There was one slide I did have some questions on, but there's so many numbers, I'm going to forego that right now and just follow.
Well, this will be available on the website as well, and we will make sure the board will receive a digital copy, and we're working with communications to make sure that's out there publicly as well.
Very good. Objectively, the data is showing that a number of people are going out to the Battery. Subjectively, I know whenever I try to park there on a weekend, I give myself some time to do that because so many people are trying to enjoy the venues that are there. So it's great to see the property doing so well and the team starting off well. Yeah. With that, Commissioners, do you have any comments or questions? Yes, Commissioner Burrow?
This is very good news. We like to see that debt service is going away. I know it's taken a few years, but this is a great trend, and we do appreciate all the contributions. I know there are more on here than the list that you read. We have 2 police canines, Champ and Brave, that the Braves donated. And I know they get a workout down at the Battery as well in the stadium. So thank you for those and for the Veterans Memorial donations that you've done. Just keep up the good work and let's get another World Series.
Yes. Any other comments or questions? Commissioner Sheffield?
No questions, just a comment to say thanks for the investment that you guys have made in the county. It has truly turned the area over. It's placed Cobb County on a different level with respect to our team, the Braves, and again, just thank you all for the investment that you've made in the county.
Thank you.
Yes.
Commissioner Richardson?
Certainly no questions at this time, but these numbers are, I think, absolutely incredible, and just appreciate the continued partnership. This is, I think it's ever evolving. I'm so excited about what the future holds and the future investments as well, because I know visionary is probably an understatement for some of the work that's been going on, and just appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And go Braves.